Sharp Game here, coming at you with another episode. I tried doing this earlier with a new software, but it just didn't go well. So I just went back to using what I've been using for the past 3 weeks. But I got a couple of questions here. People want to know what I thought about some of these celebs getting caught up with the alleged rape allegations and by a lot of people, especially in the entertainment um, arena. And I usually don't talk about any of these celebs because I really don't care. What the entertainers do. Entertainers, they do what they do. They just entertain. That's it. So I really don't think most of the stuff a lot of entertainers do is not relevant to what I do and how I live my life. And a lot of these people, I can't really relate to because, like I said, a lot of these celebs, entertainers, rappers, singers, regardless of what type of music they do, or even if they're an actor or whatever, a lot of these people have no game. This is why a lot of them are getting caught up in these alleged rape allegations because they have no game, you know. And see, a lot of these people, heck, men and women. I mean, women, it's a double standard when it comes to women raping or, taking advantage of guys. So that probably won't go over well if a woman tries to, if a guy makes a claim that a woman tried to take advantage of him, that probably won't go over as well. That people might even laugh at you in this society. So what happens with a lot of these guys, and I'm not here to judge, to say what's true or false or whether these guys really did, sexually, abuse their power, taking advantage of women. I don't know what happened. I wasn't there. But what I can tell you is a lot of these guys get caught up because they abuse their power and privilege, in their position, and they trick women into having sex with them. What I mean when I say trick women into having sex with them, they trick and manipulate women into having sex with them. It usually goes something like this. A lot of times, if a guy knows a woman has something that he wants, or maybe the woman is looking to accomplish something, but he's like the decision maker into uh, her getting what he wants. What happens, especially in entertainment, a lot of these guys usually say, "Hey, let's say, for example, let's say you're an A&R guy, and you work at a record label or a DJ, and maybe you need some beats, you need some production, you need some studio time, but you don't have the budget, you don't have the money. So a lot of these guys will say, hey, you know what? I usually charge, you know, 5, 10, 20,000 for my time. But I tell you what, if you meet me at the hotel, um, I'll reduce that to 80% or 90%. So he'll, proposition her in exchange for whatever, in exchange for his services. Now, see, a lot of these guys do this, and a lot of women, they are willing to go along with it to get to where they want to get to. Now, I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm saying as a guy, you don't have to go about it that way. You don't have to go about it that way at all, really. Because if you have to proposition a woman into having sex with you, that shows you're kind of weak. You're a weak man, you know, because, I teach and I've learned, well, first off, nobody ever told me I had to proposition a woman to do anything. And I don't feel the need to ask a woman for sex. I haven't asked a woman for sex in 15 years. I just haven't had to do it, you know. I mean, by the I, I, I I just look at it like this. By the time I'm done talking, by the time a woman gets to know me, once she knows what I'm all about, she's going to want to get with me by default. That's just what it's been. I'm not here to brag, but it's been that way for the past 15 years. So I don't feel the need to proposition a woman for anything. See, I look at it like a woman's going to do what she's going to do. She's going to make up her own mind. And being that I work in sales, you can't really talk anybody into doing anything. Best you can do is just, you know, let them get to know you and spend time around you and let the chips fall where they may. That's the best you can do, really. So it's like, a lot of these guys, they proposition women, they manipulate women. And here's the problem that I have when it comes to the women. Now, if you're gonna do what you're gonna do, if you're gonna sleep with that man to get to where you want to to get access to people, resources, record deals, whatever. Now you can't come back years later and say, hey, he took advantage of me. You can't come back 10, 20, 30 years later. This is what I have a problem with. When women come back 10, 20 years later, 30, 40, 50 years later, and say what happened, allegedly what happened. But I'm like, what what do you want to happen? I mean, I mean, if what was the result of you taking action on whatever you did with this man? And if you did get some results from sleeping with this man, allegedly, are you willing to give it all back? Are you willing to give the money back? Are you willing to give the lifestyle back? Are you willing to give the deals back? That's the question that I have. See these women that come out with these making these claims against Cosby, against Russell Simmons now, against these other guys. I don't even know these guys' names. But you know what I'm talking about. These producers, entertainers. When women come out and make their claims, I'm kind of like, what do you want to happen? And if you did do what you said you did, and if you got the result that you wanted at that time, are you willing to give that money back, those deals back, that lifestyle back? That's the question that I have. So it's like two sides of the coin. See, if you're a guy, you don't really gotta proposition women like that. You don't gotta do it like that. Now these guys, not all these guys, but some of these guys could have easily asked these women out and got to know them and spent time with them, but they didn't want to do that because they probably more than likely they have so many women coming at them, or they just a lot of these guys, it's like an abuse of power, abuse of authority. So a lot of these guys have so many women on their Rolodex. A lot of them probably didn't feel the need or didn't want to get to know none of them because they more than likely they looked at them like just another piece. Yeah, sad but true. But even the guys that could have asked some of these women out, the answer probably would have been no anyway. Because like I said, these guys have no game. That's it. See, if you really want to have women sleep with you, or at least have more women sleep with you, without having to proposition them and without having to trick them into having sex with you, you have to develop your game. That's it. You have to focus on your mouthpiece. You have to, you just have to become a better man. Become a better version of who you already are. You don't have to change. You don't gotta be. You don't have to get brand new. You just have to be 5% better, 10% better. You have to always strive to get better every week, every month, every day. You got to do something that's going to make you or force you, I should say, to become a better person. Because if you have to use what you got to get what you want, you're going to be like these guys on in the media. Because they're weak, no game. They really, you know, women just use them up in most cases. So, but I'm here to tell you that there's a better way. And I did a video on my Patreon early today talking about how do you get women to listen to you. And there's a way of speaking. There's a way of interacting with women or just people in general. Because if you can't get anyone to listen to you, you're done. I mean, most guys can't just walk into the room and women just fall head over heels for them. Most guys don't really have it like that. Very few guys have it like that. Like 5% of the guys, some shit like that. But the rest of us, we have to do a little bit of talking. We have to ask questions. We have to watch women's body language. We have to become more. We have to use our intuition. We have to, you know, be more intelligent about how we go about doing things and how we live our life and how we get things done. It's like having a protocol. It's like a code of conduct. And that's what that video that I put up earlier was all about on my Patreon. So if you go to patreon.com/sharp game, you can get that. And I'll put the link below this video as well. So, that's basically what this video is all about. And it's really about bait and switch. And see, another thing you have to realize is that a lot of these guys will mislead a woman. They'll lead the woman on, and a lot of them will get dates with women. I've known guys that do this. They'll get dates with women. They'll spend time with the woman, maybe a couple weeks, couple months, or whatever, and they'll have this woman thinking that he wants to be in a relationship with her, all because he wants the sex. And once he done hit it, maybe 5, 10 times, he get tired of her, and then he'll break it off with her. But in reality, he wasn't in a relationship with her anyway. He just wanted the sex. So these are a lot of tactics that a lot of guys use. And a lot of women do the same thing too. But I'm here to tell you that you don't have to go about it this way. You don't have to sucker women in or trick women into having sex with you. A lot of guys would do that. They'll, say and do almost anything to get some sex from a woman. But you don't have to do all that. You really don't. And a lot of times, a lot of women are so emotional. And whenever you see a woman that's very highly upset at a guy that's you might be out in public or something like that. Most of the time, the reason why she's acting all crazy, yelling and screaming, because this guy led her on to believe something that simply wasn't true. And a woman, the woman feels like she's been taken advantage of. And people, no one like being played like a fool, But if that's your buddy and you see him arguing with a girl, or maybe it's a strange two people that you don't know, you thinking that she's just a crazy woman. And no, she has a reason to be crazy because this guy led her on to believe something that wasn't true. And as soon as he got what he wanted, now he don't want to fuck with her no more. And women do the same thing too. Women just go about it more strategically. A lot of women out here will have a man, have a boyfriend, have a husband, and they'll go out, go to the bars, go to the clubs, or go to some networking event, you know, and meet guys, and they'll filter out through the ones that they really want to spend time with, and the guy, he's under the assumption that, hey, she's a pretty nice girl. She's super nice. She's like super cooperative. I mean, she laughs at all his jokes. She doesn't give him a hard time at all. But they'll spend time together, get to know each other. And eventually, uh, she'll come over to his house, and that's where the magic happens. And probably after that, she might see him one more time at his house, and that's the end. And as soon as he started getting too close, at least in just her perception, that's when she cuts him off. And then probably weeks or months later, he finds out that she was either married or lived with a guy, long-term boyfriend, living boyfriend, or something like that. And if you ask her, hey, what's up with that? I mean, I thought if you ask her months later, years later, whatever it is, if you say, hey, what happened with us back months ago? I thought we were cool. We had a good thing going on or whatever. And she'll say, yeah, he was a nice guy, whatever. But I just wanted to have a good time. I had a man already. I had a boyfriend, a husband. We were just going through some tough times. I was just bored. I was just looking for a good time, you know. But there's somebody out there for you. You're a great guy. She'll hit you with all that bullshit or whatever. But in reality, you just got used. Now, from a guy's point of view, you might not see it that way. You might look at it like, hey, I had a good time. She's a cool chick, and so I got mine, she got hers or whatever. But in reality, you really got used. I mean, she bait and switch on you too, because she led you to believe that she was single, that she really liked you, you know, and you thought something else, totally different. And I can relate to that because it happened to me a few times. But at least the first couple times, it happened like 3 times, and I didn't know these women had boyfriends and husbands the first 3 times. But at least 2 times, I can honestly say I knew she was married. I knew it. I was aware of it. I figured it out due to my experience the first 3 times, and I didn't care because I looked at it like I was having a good time. At least I knew what was going on, and we had a good time, and that was it. And I just kept it moving. That was it. But hey, women do the same thing too. Women aren't angels out here. They do shit. They just go about it in a different way. They go about it much more strategic. Women are very intelligent cheaters. They're very smart cheaters. They plan in advance. weeks, months, sometimes 6 months in advance. You know, I've heard stories, some of the stuff a lot of women be pulling off. And some of the stuff guys would be blown away, you know? So, hey, you just got to be aware of that stuff, what's going on out here. And if you're a guy, look, you don't have to bait and switch and manipulate women into sleeping with you or whatever. And if you're a woman, you don't got to do that either. There's always a better way, you know. But the better way it's usually takes time. And we live in a society where people want instant gratification, and people don't really want to take the time to learn. But the long game is the best game. So if you like what you heard, go check out my Patreon. That's patreon.com/sharp game. Share this video on your social media networks, and leave your comments and concerns below. Go check out my book, Love Can't Wait, which can be found on Amazon.com. There it is, baby. Don't cheat yourself, treat yourself. Get that on Amazon.com. Check out my blog, ChooseYourRelationships.com. So until next time, I'm out. Peace.